Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy Big Bro.
It's your girl BK.
Hey,
Hey.
and welcome to Chopping It Up Chicago, live from the other side. We out here. We just excited, y'all. We excited to see you guys. We're excited to talk to you guys about what's been going on with us. And look, we love the Woman King, BK. Like that was
Ah,
a great movie.
it was so inspiring on so many different levels. I have so much to talk to you guys about.
We're also going to talk about the Ime Udoka and Nia Long situation. How could any man cheat on the treasure, Nia Long?
Thank you. Thank you very much. She is a treasure, national, global.
And
Galaxies want her.
and in sports, the Bears got a win. It was an ugly win versus our former coach Lovey Smith, but we'll take any W we can get.
I agree.
We also got BK's business beat and what we're watching, listening to, and reading. We'll see you
Hmm.
guys on the other side of the intro. BK,
Hey.
listen, Chopping It Up
Yes.
Chicago family. We my wife, BK and her husband, and we have a friend group. We all went out to check out the brand new Viola Davis movie, The Woman
Woman King.
King. Yes, yes, it was a great movie, like in all aspects. I think we all sat there in awe. Kind of gave us Black Panther vibes in terms of just that togetherness, the music, and so on and so forth. Being black and watching this movie was a great experience. How'd you like it, BK?
It was So I don't know how to explain that, like the warrior inside of me, the one that wants to just stand up and fight and, just go to the front lines. I felt like she was nourished. I felt like she was heard. Being, seeing that movie just inspired me as a woman to continue to fight and do more and do better. And Miss Viola Davis, the whole cast.
Yes,
I was like, I just want to I'm like, "Can I just sit at your feet and learn from you guys? Because 'Cause you're
yes.
amazing."
So if
And
you
she's
guys don't know,
56.
and she listen, she put in the work to
Yes.
do this part. Like she was out there kind of like it's interesting because you usually see the older male actor get into action movies
Yes.
later in their careers. And I've always found that to be very interesting, right? But so if
Mhm.
you guys don't know what The Woman King is, it's a movie that came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, starring Viola Davis. It's a historical epic film about the Agoji, the all-female warrior unit that protected the
That's
West
right.
African kingdom of Dahomey. And I thought that was a dope name for African kingdom, Dahomey, for real, during the 17th
Dahomey,
and
shut
19th
up.
centuries. Yes. So look, if you guys don't know, during the 17th century, that's when like the transatlantic slave trade was at its apex. It was very strong, and it was set in the 1820s. The film stars Viola Davis as a general who trains the next generation of all female warriors to fight against their enemies, which was dope. Like it to see a kingdom being protected by there were men as well, like there were men soldiers as
Mhm.
well in this in these battles. They mostly had guns, but the women, they were very, very talented, very strong, and people feared them. Um
So
it is
much so they
directed
weren't
by
even supposed to be looked upon.
exactly, like, by their own people when they return from battle. It was so dope. It's directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. I think that's how you say her name. So there's a female director. It's written by Dana Stevens, so a female writer, and it's based on the story written by Maria Bello. The film also stars Thuso Mbedu. She did a great job as the young female co-star.
Mhm.
As well as Lashana Lynch, Sheila Atim, and John Boyega again.
Listen,
You
listen.
dig?
If I did not have a crush on John before, I have a huge crush on that man now. I was like, "Hey, John, how you doing?" So cute. But I
Yeah, he
think
he did such a great job.
He was kind of the comic relief, but he also, had a great presence about him. What I love so much about this movie was the fact that you saw you saw Black women being strong, being powerful. But what I also loved is it's a movie that is set in Africa, and you're actually seeing a kingdom, and you're seeing how lush and beautiful Africa is. And I feel like here in the West, when we see a lot of things that portray Africa, it's always people in huts. It's always, like for 10 cents a day, you feed this child. But to be able to see something that is historical and not just fantasy and fiction, and them actually putting it together and just seeing that, yeah, Dahomey was one kingdom, but it wasn't even the biggest kingdom of its time. And so I'm excited to see more stories like that that are set in Africa that are telling our history, the good, the bad, the great, the ugly, because the Dahomey, they were a part of the slave trade. They went and they did capture other Africans to be sold to Europeans, but so like that's a part of the history, and that's also in the story. But just to see the fact that you have the woman king, that this palace, this kingdom was the only one around it that actually had female warriors that were
Hmm.
revered like this. And to me, that's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, it was great because even even today there's a lot of people who think that the woman is supposed to be submissive to the man and so
Mm,
on and so forth. And definitely
mm.
back then there was a scene in the movie where the young lady was supposed to be betrothed to a man and she was considered to be unbetrothable because she had that spit fire in her, right? Like she had that grit, like you're not about to tell me what to do, you're not
You're
about
not
to
about to
beat
beat
me,
me.
you're not about to smack me. So
Right.
I feel like it was great to see that as well, like a woman in a time where you had to really depend on a man for any type of sustenance, right? And throughout life, whereas your house, your home, your clothes, your food, so on and so forth, came from the efforts of men because women weren't allowed to do so certain things back then. So that was
Mhm.
also a part of it, was that they treated those women warriors, because it wasn't just the women, it was those who fought for their country, as
Yeah.
equals. She was able to sit in council with the king, so on and so forth. So it's a great movie. I'm glad that it was released. I'm glad that we were able to see the other side of things when it comes to
Mhm.
African kingdom, because we knew that Africans were selling Africans, but you never really see that on screen. So it furthered our narrative so that we can see that there was a dark side to the slave trade that involved our ancestors selling other Africans. So go check out The Woman King if you haven't already. You're doing yourself a disservice. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, everybody should be checking this movie out, because when you're watching the Oscars and the Golden Globes, it's going to be up for a lot of different things.
It better be. One more thing on The Woman King. I just feel like it gives you a voice. And, just speaking as a woman and as a Black woman, but just as a woman in general, to see a woman stand in her own strength, to see somebody who is doing military things and who's going out there and who's taking on somebody that is twice her size and bringing them down is such a beautiful thing to see. And it makes me think of my goddaughter and what she is going to be privy to. Like, these are the things that she gets to watch growing up. She gets to see people like her on screen being strong, being powerful, being gorgeous in all of her multifaceted layers. And the story itself, really talks about like sisterhood and motherhood and what it means to deal with like PTSD and like the stress of it all, but also coming together. There's certain scenes in the movie of the unity of the women and like the different rituals and different things that they did. And to me, I was like,
The dancing, doing each other's hair,
yeah, like
singing.
sisterhood, all of that. It's a great, great movie. I want to go see it again.
It's one of those movies where
100%.
you laugh, you cry, you feel it. It's great.
Mhm. Because
So
John makes you laugh. Tell you that much.
he
I was
does.
like, hey, bro.
He did a great job, man. He did a great job.
He's like, go
Um,
sit down. Stop crying.
just go. So yeah, go check out The Woman King, you guys, if you already haven't. So you guys are tuned in to Chopping It Up Chicago with Big Bro and Butterscotch Kisses. We're happy to be
Hey.
back. And so the next topic that we're going to talk about has been a big topic. It's kind of sports related, but it transcended sports. Like you saw this on CNN, Fox News,
Yes.
everything. Like it was everywhere. It's the
For
story of
another with Nia Long, she
it's a
is, the queen
it,
of our hearts.
well, so we have to say what it is first. It's Boston Celtics head, well now suspended head coach Ume Udoka. He was found to have been in a consensual, or at least initially consensual, relationship with an employee of the Boston Celtics organization,
Yeah.
and it led to this big scandal. It's kind of fishy to me, but we'll get into that later. But led to this big scandal that led to him getting suspended for a year, and all of the black men on the planet, and black women as well, who grew up watching Nia Long on our screens, from Friday to The Best Man to everything else that she's done throughout her career, and me and men all over being attracted to her. Like, oh my God, it's Nia Long. She's been in rap lyrics, so on and so forth. To see that she's getting cheated on by this man with whomever, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, people would love to be in a relationship with Nia Long. What's wrong with him?
When I saw this, it made me think of an interview with what's his name who used to date Janet Jackson?
Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri, yes.
Hmm.
He talked about cheating on Janet Jackson, and his thing was he never thought in his life that he would be able to get a woman like Janet Jackson, and once he got her, he felt like, "Oh, well, if I could get her, then I could get somebody else," And so he's like, "It was stupid, it was foolish, like, it was just young and dumb," and to me, it's that whole thing of it doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how accomplished you are. If somebody wants to cheat, they'll cheat. And
Yep.
if they have the opportunity to, and if they are willing to take that opportunity, they will. So I think it just makes me really sad because he's a public figure and she's a public
Mhm,
figure. So not only do you
mhm.
get cheated on, but to add insult to injury, the world knows about it. And
Everybody
that's what
sees
makes
it.
me sad.
Yeah, it's
Like,
really sad. Do you wanna, so Nia Long responded, like, after, a little bit of radio silence when as things started to calm down, she got on social media and she had a response.
yeah, her response was she said, I ask that my privacy be respected as I process the recent events. Above all, I am a mother and will continue to focus on my children. And
Mhm,
that's the big thing. It's just like her face is plastered across the news in correlation with, his and the mistress. And it's not just about her. She has children, right? So it's like
mhm.
now it's affecting their lives as well. So I think like that's what I don't think a lot of people think about when they cheat on someone, especially when children are involved, because you didn't just cheat on them, you cheated on the family, you cheated on everybody, all the friends and family that put their trust in you. Everyone's looking at you differently now. And who knows what's going on in their relationship? Like, who knows if they, were on a break or whatever the thing is, like that's private behind closed doors. But what the public knows is that you two were together and then you were cheating with someone who also was your employee or part of it. So like that's why they can suspend him. So it kind of in a way looks like maybe they wanted to get rid of him and this is a way that they could.
Well,
But
he's coming. So a little background on Udoka. He played in the NBA,
right.
and he's a first time head coach last year. Rookie head coach, led to Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals, and you know, he was kind of like a golden child, but there's a lot of history in Boston and that involves racism. Like
Mm,
Bill Russell was one of the greatest. Rest in peace to Bill Russell, who passed away earlier this year. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He bought the Celtics double-digit championships, and they still broke into his house and spray painted the N word and so on and so forth on his walls. Broke his trophies, and it was just a terrible situation. So, like, the reason I'm bringing that up is because it was kind of fishy. Like, it was a consensual relationship, right? Like
mm.
it wasn't like there was foul play involved. Maybe afterwards, or I don't know. There's so much, the stories can be nuanced. We're only getting the surface stuff right now, but at the end of the day, there's a situation in Phoenix. where the owner of the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury was caught on tape using the N word, and
Mm,
that was all anybody could talk about because it's kind of slow. Like football's on Sunday and Monday, but like throughout the rest of the week is baseball, basketball not back yet, so people gonna talk about scandal.
right,
So with that being the top story, people tend to kind of maybe forgot about what he was talking about and what was going on with him once this whole cheating scandal came out. That it's not condoning anything. You shouldn't sleep with people. It's against the rules. If it's against your company's rules to fraternize with your coworkers, then you shouldn't do it, right? But at the end
right.
of the day, I thought it was a little bit of a tactic for distraction. So,
Probably. I mean, but let's talk about something happy. Let's talk about something good. So, we have heard that there is a local Chicago woman that she has run the Chicago Marathon for 23 times. Is that
hmm
correct? And
hmm
she is looking to run it for the 24th time in a row. God bless you, woman, because I don't run. I don't like that's not you like to run.
Listen, I run. I was running today, and I'm like, man. So I set a timer. Like I'm 40 years
Mm,
old now, so I tend to say that like I can at least run a minute per year. So if I'm gonna run, I'm gonna run 40 minutes.
okay.
That's hard. That's
Yes.
difficult. It was
Yeah.
about so for
Running 2
I did
minutes
I
is
did
hard
like
for me.
I did like today I did like 46 minutes and it was 3.93 miles. Right. That
Mm,
hurt my heart because I'm like, man, I could have ran for like another 30 seconds and got to that 4 miles, but I didn't know. But this woman runs 26.2 miles and just did Chicago because I'm sure she does other marathons as well.
right.
I can't imagine pushing my body to that type of limit. Like, and if I did, I think that would probably be the end of me. That'd be it. That'd be my apex. That'd be like my moment, and I'm out.
Listen, so I walk. I walk a lot. I walk anywhere from 3 to 5 miles, around like 5, 6 days a week, and I love it. Like, my body can handle that. But as soon as I try to make myself run, my lungs are like, "Listen here, Heifer, like, nobody told you to make us work this hard. This is not what we're doing right now." So and it's also harder on your joints and stuff like that. I don't need to get a runner's high, I could,
I
go eat some
love it.
chocolate. I could go eat some chocolate and get the same thing. I'll
Nah,
be
I
okay
love
with
it.
my life.
It's the rhythm. It's the like. I like to run outside. When I run in the
Right.
gym, I usually do like a mile, 2 miles top, and I'm
Mm.
done. But when I'm outside, like just the feet on the pavement, seeing people, because like you get an even higher when you see other people. You're like, oh, I can't be slugging through this. Like, there's people watching. Like,
Yeah.
so I can see how people adrenaline can push you to 26.2 miles. I just have no intentions of ever doing it. So some other things is going on, and Kim Henry is her name. If you guys watch Chicago Marathon,
Mhm.
look for her. She's going for her 24th this year. But
And tell us,
today I
family,
found,
if you guys run. Like, let us know if you guys are gonna be in
yeah,
the Chicago Marathon or if you're running or anything like that, 'cause, that's not my thing.
absolutely. Like I might do a 5K. That's like 3.2 miles. That's as
Right.
far as it goes for me. But in final Chicago news before we head to the next segment, there's a strike going on at the airports because
Yes. Yes.
uh,
So
so go
it's
ahead.
Southwest, right?
I think it's Southwest and United, one at Midway, one at O'Hare.
That's
So
not
the
good for me.
the flight attendants, the flight attendants are on strike. If you're driving down Cicero, you might see some people outside with picket signs, obviously fighting for better wages and
Yeah.
working too hard. You know how it is. It's been difficult since the end of COVID. A lot of people didn't go back to work, and people who are at work are working really hard.
Yeah, and when it comes to flight attendants, they have like a seniority system as well. So, like they're the ones that get they get dibs on everything. So the longer that you've been with a company, the more perks that you get as a flight attendant. You get to choose where you want to go more than like other people, and you get like the better jobs and stuff like that. And it that doesn't pay you as much coming in as it used to. I remember when I first came back to the United States, my mom had a hookup at the at O'Hare, and she tried so hard. Like she begged me over and over again
Yeah, she
to
wanted them
become a flight
benefits.
attendant. She wanted those benefits, and I understood, but I was like, there is no way I'm going to be working with the public, not dealing with all the people that you have to deal with, and people they get mad and they get irate and in your face. So I understand the strike. Like, definitely 100%, you guys need to be able to get paid what you deserve to be paid. You need to be able to have your benefits, because being a flight attendant can mess with your blood. It can mess with like your organs and different things like that. You can get sick from doing it for a few years. So pay them, pay them. I just pray that you're not, I pray that my flight will be able to leave on time tomorrow,
Right,
because
but after that, well, after your
like
return flight,
I would like to be able to go on this vacation that I've been planning forever, but I do stand with you. Just please let me
I'm
leave.
willing to cross picket lines, but I stand with you. All right, you guys. So thanks for chopping it up with
100%.
us. This is chopping it up Chicago with Big Bro and Butterscotch Kisses.
Hey,
Listen, I hope you make your flight too.
me
So,
too.
BK, what we got coming on the other side of this break?
Coming on the other side of this break, we have a big decision for you guys. Are you going to take a red pill or a blue pill? We'll get into that on our way back.
Chopping it up Chicago.
Apologies for taking so long. I had to take a little nap just to get back to where
It's your girl BK, and you are listening to Chopping It Up Chicago.
I love when you're standing in line. That look that you get, like you stab a bitch, but you hold it back just cause the government. I love when you're taking your time. You told me to be ready early, then you change it like 20 more times. And now we're in a hurry, but I love it all. Baby, you're the last time I've been chasing all of my life. All of my life. I love when you leave the floor wet. When you get out of the shower, you look so cute in that towel. Come here, give me that. I love finding your hair ties and all of my shit. It's like finding little pieces of love everywhere I look. Yeah, I love it all. Baby, you're the last time I've been chasing all of my life. All of my life. All of my
Niggas don't rap no more, all they do is this. Niggas don't chat no more, all they do is hits. Underground like a sewer bitch. You got a mic in your hand, but don't know what to do with it. I think it's cool that you rich, get your cash flow. Nothing is truer than this. I've been an asshole, but my heart is huge. I got a lot to prove, you got a lot to improve. I see what you mad for, on my way to being famous, I promise. Mama Mama told me money is a language, that's knowledge. I gotta get to the bag, take care of wifey and be a good dad. I take the good with the bad, when it's all said and done, we all leaving the bad. Niggas don't rap no more, all they do is this. Niggas don't chat no more, all they do is hits. Underground like a sewer, bitch. You got a mic in your hand, but don't know what to do with it. That's that foolishness, I'm not cool with it. Hard knocks, yeah, I'm from the school of it. I'm a Cancer, so forgive me for my moodiness. I feel like Earl Simmons howling at the moon again. I'm through pretending, now I'm losing friends. Fuck them niggas anyway, keep it moving then. Because political views, they get misconstrued, whether it's red or it's blue. I know they don't give a shit about you, nah. Niggas don't rap no more, all they do is this. Niggas don't chat no more, all they do is hits. Underground like a sewer, bitch. I got a mic in my head, and I know what to do with it. Niggas don't rap no more, niggas don't chat no more. Niggas don't rap no more, niggas don't chat no more. Niggas don't rap no more, niggas don't chat no more. Niggas don't rap no more, all they do is this. Niggas don't rap no more, niggas don't chat no more. Niggas don't rap no more, niggas don't chat no more. Niggas don't rap no more, niggas don't chat no more. Niggas don't rap no more, all they do is this.
Yo.
All right. Welcome back to Chopping It Up Chicago. It's your boy Big Bro.
It's your girl BK, aka Butterscotch Kisses.
Yeah. So hey, we wanted to just go ahead and address a couple of the comments before we get into the next subject. Back when we were discussing the Woman King, Dom C. What up, Dom C? Appreciate you for rocking with us tonight. We were talking about the Woman King. She said she can't wait to see it.
Yes. Please go see it. I'm going to go see it again. We
Well, he or she.
also,
I'm not even sure if Dom C is. I'm sorry for assuming they
well,
can't wait to go see it.
go see it, We also had another comment from our lovely Maurice Clapton, aka Blaze. He's so happy that we are back. We're happy that we're back too, Blaze.
Yes,
It's
sir. We
been a
appreciate you,
journey.
bro.
Yes.
Hey, hit me up, Blaze. Hey, hit me up, boy. We got to chat.
100%. 100%.
And
So,
we had one last one that says
mhm.
Jerome caught us up, y'all. What's happening? That's baby bro right there.
Hey.
All right.
Okay. So there is a thing that's going around on the internet, and it's all about like red pill, blue pill, what would you pick? Now, in this instance, I don't think that I'm going to take both pills together. I'm just letting y'all
You
know.
got
Like,
you gotta let them see first. Hold on. All
no,
right, so here we
no.
go.
I'm
I
just
want to
I'm just
know.
letting you know my choice ahead of time. So we have on the red side, we have Kendall and Kel, Sister Sister, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Hold on, wait,
Martin.
back up. Keenan and Kale. You're not about to mess that up. Not on my
What did I
watch.
say?
You said Kendall and Kale.
Did I? You know
Yeah.
what? I don't think we should have gone back over that. Thank you for the world seeing how bad that is.
We're gonna start from the top. Red pill said what?
Anyways, Keenan and Kel. Sister Sister, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, Family Matters. That's on the red side, red pill. Or you could have Boy Meets World, Friends, Full House, Saved by the Bell, Clarissa Explains It All. Like, I really don't understand why we have to be segregated like this with our shows.
Right, they
Like,
could have mixed it up. Like, you feel me?
there was
Like, cause now it's really like if I choose the blue pill, then I'm a traitor to my race, and I don't like that feeling. Cause I love all of these shows, every last one of them.
I feel like if I could get rid of a show, I probably
Kenan and
would get
Kel.
really, that's funny. I would get rid of Clarissa Explains It All.
For real?
Yeah, because I
Clarissa
saw
was
it. Nah. Put it this way, like as an adult, I would go back and watch Boy Meets World. I would go back and watch Friends and Saved by the Bell. Clarissa, not so much. Full House, I would just to see Uncle Jesse because it's Uncle Jesse. Keenan and Kel would be the one on that side that I could probably like let go of, but they gave us the iconic like who loves orange soda? You know what I mean? Like that's a part of my
Yes,
childhood. There's
yes.
no way I'm getting rid of Fresh Prince. There's no way I'm getting rid of Martin or Friends or Boy Meets
I
World.
I right. Or Boy Meets World. And honestly, I'm not getting rid of Full House or Friends, by the way.
Correct?
Friends is a part of my history. Like me and my guys, we enjoyed
Man.
watching Friends, and we was all from the hood. I grew up in Roseland and various other locations of the South Side. I got a homie from 71st at King Drive, another homie from Cape Town, and we all enjoyed Friends. We would call it. This is before you had like social media to express your exuberance about something that occurred in real time. So we would
Right.
call each other on three-way just to laugh at some of the jokes that occurred toward the latter
Correct.
end of the Friends phenomenon.
Right.
Family Matters gave us Steve Urkel, the Fresh Prince. Of course, we know we're gonna ride with Martin. Of course, Sister Sister was I had a crush on twins. Like, how could I ever give that up? So and of course, Boy Meets World is a classic. I think Topanga was probably the first white girl that I was like, she might not be the first because Kelly Kapowski she was a beast on Saved by the Bell. So like, but Topanga, she has a special place in my heart. Full House is just classic family sitcom with a classic theme song, so you can't get rid of that. And I agree on this side, I would get rid of Clarissa Explains It All.
Right. So that's all I'm saying. Personally, I'm just taking both pills because you didn't tell me I couldn't. So there I go. There's no way I'm giving up any of those really.
I'm
Like,
taking the red pill, Black
okay,
Power.
well, you take that pill. I'm taking both to, I'm a suburbanite and it shows. So I'm just like, I'm gonna watch both of them. How about I take both pills, but I give you Keenan and Kel and Clarissa Explains It All.
So Dom C said, I was literally gonna say why we have to choose LOL, but I'm getting rid of Friends, seeing as I haven't watched it. But that's not the question. The question was, which side do you pick? You got to take the red pill or the blue
Listen here,
pill.
Dom C, I'm with you. You pick and choose because that's not fair. It's not a fair thing that they asked us at all. No, no, no. You pick and choose. I'm with you on that 100%.
All right.
But
So,
they're just trying to start, just trying to start wars over here. It's almost like playing Uno. What rules do you have? As you can tell,
so
I
I
make
think
my own.
so so now that's a perfect way to jump into what we're reading, watching, listening to, and playing. This is a OG chopping it up Chicago
Yeah.
segment. It's good to be able to tell you guys what's been going on with us. So BK, what you been watching lately?
Oh man. Okay, so I've been watching two things. One of them is the new Netflix show Jeffrey Dahmer, and that is terrifying. Like
Yeah, I don't want. Go ahead,
it's
say what you got to
really
say.
so no, here's the thing. There are 10 episodes. We started watching it. We've only
Hold on, let me
seen
take my hat
two.
off for this one.
And I flat out told my husband because my husband loves true crime stuff. And after being married to him, I start looking at a lot of true crime stuff too, but I'm like, this is too close to home. This feels too real. I mean, it is real. It did happen. So I'm like, I can only do like 2 episodes at a time in order for me to live and breathe and be okay. So watching that, also watching the new Lord of the Rings thing on Amazon, which is actually pretty good. Definitely still watching She-Hulk, which is hilarious. And then there is a show on Netflix. Actually, it's a British show and it's called Call the Midwife. And it's set in Great Britain from like the 1950s and now they're in the 60s. So they've had 10 seasons and it basically is about midwifery, childbirth at home.
Midwifery is a funny word.
It is because that's the actual pronunciation, but I think what I really like about the show is this is a time before cell phones. It's a time before the internet, and it really shows how communities
It's the
come
time before
together.
everything, you
Well,
dumbass.
correct. Well, I mean, like, they had doctors, they had hospitals, stuff like that, but it was a time when the poorest people could not get to a hospital. Hospitals were for
Yeah.
rich people,
You
and so
you
you
just needed to
had
pour liquor on it, pour some vodka on it, it'll be alright.
right, but also women who were going into hospitals were having more complications because the male doctors weren't treating them correctly and they were giving them infections. So
Far
it's
far be it from a man to understand the female body.
right,
Go ahead.
but so to me, I love so much, just shows that talk about community and everything like this. Real quick pause, I know that we're still talking about this, but we have our lovely comment, Dom, he also said he's taking the purple pill, minus
Or she.
she. Dom Dom is taking the purple pill, minus friends. That's okay. I'm taking the purple pill minus,
Jeez, like, you gotta
Clarissa.
Dom, I challenge you, watch Friends. Just binge watch it, it's worth it.
Friends is funny. It's really funny. But big bro, what are you,
So
watching?
I'm watching all things fantasy. So like I've been watching House of Dragon, the
Mm.
prequel to Game of Thrones. I've only
Oh,
watched
I
the first
can't.
episode though because it's one of those shows that I want to watch all of it at once. I can't take the week to week aspect of it. I'm also watching Wheel of Time. I know it's kind of last year on
Oh, I love
Amazon
it. I
Prime.
like that better than, the new the one that I said, wow, words.
The Ring of Power, Rings of
Yes.
Power.
Oh my
But I'm also
god.
watching that, and it's great. Like, I was kinda skeptical
Mhm.
about Amazon taking their own spin on, the Lord of the Rings, kinda minus source material,
Mhm.
like House of Dragon, but
Yes.
it was really good. They're doing a great job. Shout out to Jeff Bezos and all them people out there doing their thing because I enjoy
Making
it.
money.
And then, of course, I'm watching She-Hulk. I love it. I can't deal with the slander. Like it's so unnecessary, all the hate that She-Hulk gets. But we're not here to talk about that. I'm here to say that it's a great show.
It's
And then
hilarious.
I've been diving into Snowfall. It's hard to watch.
What is
It's
Snowfall?
Snowfall is this show. I'm in the season last year. I think they're about to be back, but I'm almost finished with last season,
Mhm.
and it's a show that was brought to us by John Singletary, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, he passed away like in the middle of the greatness of this show. So there's been some detours that have taken place since his demise. Rest in peace to John Singletary. However, it's still a great show that revolves around the drug trade in LA in the 80s and its relationship
Oh,
with
okay.
the government and how the government was funding the war in Nicaragua by selling cracks to black and brown people.
Mm,
And it's a true story, but obviously it's a TV show as well.
right.
But Snowfall is great. If you haven't watched it, you owe it to yourself to watch it. I lived the crack epidemic, so like it's near and dear to my heart to see where all of this came from. People still don't probably want to believe that the government had a big role in it, but they did.
Mm,
It's all public information. So those are the things that I'm watching. What I'm reading is a fantasy novel. It's called Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I believe she's one of the young ladies or one of the people who blew up on one of these forum sites things where like you write books
mm.
and people read your books on like web pages and so on. And now she has like a 13, 14 book saga that revolves around, royalty, elves, and magic, and so on and so forth.
See, I love it. I love it. This is what Harry Potter did to us. Um, I'm
But I was into this
actually
honestly, like for me, I was into this type of stuff pre Harry Potter. I
same.
started with like Terry Brooks,
Mhm.
running with the demon and all of those. He was kind of like a token, like a knockoff token. Like most fantasy writers borrow from Tolkien; they can't help themselves.
Yeah.
But he was like he really duplicated or replicated a lot of Tolkien's ideas and so on and so forth. But go ahead, what are you reading?
I'm in the midst of 2 books right now because I get bored. So one of them is called Band of Sisters, and it is about a group of women. that were actually from a college, and they are the ones. It's during World War I, and so they were sent over from really elite families, being told that they're basically going to, they're going to help the the children of villagers and stuff. And then when they get to France to give aid, they really see what war is, and it makes them question their privilege. It makes them realize just how, like classist they are and different things like that. But it ends up being about sisterhood, and it ends up being about, digging deep and helping those who really need you. So there's that one. And then there's another one that I'm actually listening to, and it's a murder mystery, and it is called A Spoonful of Murder, which is basically about like this group of retired women that become sleuths, basically. They're all teachers, and one of the women in that was like they're like the headmistress of a school. She fell ill, and she had dementia, and she ended up dying um, under mysterious circumstances. And people are saying that she messed up her medication and she kind of overdosed, but they're all like, there is no way that this would happen. So it's the solving of her murder and different things like that. And they bring things to light of elderly care and what that means to have elderly care in the Western world, and how easy it is for somebody to, like take your identity, how elderly people are preyed upon, for them to like give all their money away, like all of those calls that you get, like, oh, we're from your bank, you need to transfer this money, someone did identity theft to you. So it's real life situations that were made into a fictional story, and it's interesting to
Okay.
me. Yeah.
And real quick before we move on, circling back, I refuse to watch the Jeffrey Dahmer show. I just can't do it.
It's heavy. It's
Yeah, I
heavy.
can't do it. It's because
I
I know
understand.
it
Correct.
happened in real life, and to black and brown people was like his real main targets. I didn't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so are you playing any video games?
I am watching my
I'm about to say you
husband.
watching what's hubby playing?
He is still playing Horizon. He is playing, I should know this. It's Elden
Elden
Ring.
Ring? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he goes back and forth between those 2 right now because he got his PS5 last month, or like month and a half ago, and the quality is just gorgeous. So
Yeah.
he will stay up all night, and I'm like, "Boo, you got work in the morning." He's like, "I know. I
See,
know."
yeah. Yeah, I'm not a up all nighter. I got the PS5 and I treat it
Mhm.
the same way I treat the PS4. Like, hey, if I play, I play. But I am playing Madden and 2K. Those are
Okay.
the and I downloaded the Ninja Turtles. They have all the old school Ninja Turtle games. Great games. So I've been playing those things, and of course I'm playing Fall Guys with my son. He's 4, and he loves Fall
Yeah,
Guys.
and he taught me how to play it. He was like, "No, auntie, you press X, then square." I was
Right?
like, "Okay."
Let me educate you real
I
quick.
was like, "I'm sorry. I didn't know, baby."
So yeah,
Yeah.
here on Choppin It Up Chicago, we definitely are gamers, and what I'm listening to is everything, man. I'm listening to everything from old school gospel, like the Bear singers. I heard that
Mm.
at the end of one of the Snowfall episodes. They played a old gospel song. I had to look it up, and they were popping in the '80s, I guess. And then I have all the way to Afro beats. I've been listening to Fireboy, DML, and even UK rappers. Like I've been all over the place with my music. How about you?
I keep going back to the Harry Styles album, which
Yes.
I was not expecting to love it like that.
It's
Um,
so great.
it
It's just like
it
it's so great.
it is, and I was like, "Okay, I see you." Um, Definitely listening to soundtracks. So, listening to the Woman King soundtrack, which then makes me listen to Black Panther, which then just makes me listen to anything by Hans Zimmer. So, like Batman and
I meant to
everything like
dive into
that.
the Woman King soundtrack. Man,
Like
I gotta do it.
on my way here today, all I kept playing was "Them won't take my power." My
Oh my
power, my
gosh.
power. Like, I'm like,
It's
yeah.
hey, I'm sitting in the movie theater getting it too.
And so I've been listening to a lot of that, and whenever I listen to Harry, um, I've actually also been going back and listening to Miguel. And so I realized Miguel is one of my favorite artists ever. Like I have yet to see him in concert. I'm so upset by this. And everybody who has seen him is like he's absolutely amazing. So been listening to a lot of old and new stuff.
Yep. All right, so before we move on to the new segment, also check out on Onyx and Hulu Reasonable Doubt. Check out Reasonable Doubt. You
Oh
guys should enjoy
yeah.
that show. I got
Yeah.
a friend who has friends who write for that show, so go ahead and check it out, support it. All right. Now, BK, what is going on in Chicago this week?
Oh, we have a lot of stuff that's going on in Chicago this week. So, for all of you who are living in Chicago, the weather finally broke and it is now cold. It's not just the cold mornings and the cold evenings. So, fall in Chicago, we definitely, oh, hello. All right. Fall in Chicago, when you think of fall, you think of like pumpkin patches, and we have Jack's Pumpkin Pop Up, which is over by the Goose Brewery, I
Yeah,
believe.
Goose
Yes,
Island. Goose
Goose
Island.
Island Brewery, and it's a couple acres.
Listen,
So
I,
what?
I hate that word too.
Listen,
Brewery.
as you can tell, I don't know how to pronounce words.
I hate
I
that
was
word.
saying whores, divorce, and
Look,
everything. So we're
I
not
hate that
gonna.
word, but brewery is like so tough. Too many
Correct.
words.
Correct. Oh, I hate to do this. Give me 1 second. My computer said you're about to die. Let me plug this right in. Sorry, family.
So we also have the Reeling Film Festival. Reeling is the second oldest LGBTQ film festival in the United States.
Yeah.
Uh, Go ahead.
And we have Oktoberfest that is happening at the Northman Beer and Cider Garden. But with the Jack's Pumpkin Pop-Up, I really want to talk about this because it's something that you can take your kids to. It's something that you can go out on a date to, like whether it's a first date or if you just need to get out the house. They have axe throwing, they have a beer garden, they have, mazes and hay rides and stuff like that. So it's a good thing for adults as well as kids.
But do they have
And
apple cider and pumpkin donuts?
yes, yes, they do. So they're getting all that together for you, and it's going to be here until October 31st. So, all of October you'll be able to go. With the Reeling Film Festival, like Chicago actually does film festivals like all throughout the year, and a lot of people don't know about them and they don't go to them. This one is supporting the LGBT plus community. You know
Right.
all of like the letters,
It's a
right?
lot. The
Right.
alphabet.
And so it's independent and it's nice. So if anybody of the Chopping It Up fam is a part of that community and you want to see your stories and your voices being heard, then definitely go check out that film
Di-
festival as well.
Didn't the movie just come out like from like Judd Apatow, The Bros or something like that?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
there
know.
is a movie out where it's a gay romantic comedy. We've come a long way, whereas like
Mhm.
a major Hollywood studio is putting out a gay romantic comedy as
I know
opposed to
that.
like
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain, that wasn't a gay romantic comedy. I've never
Yeah.
watched it, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't comedic. Go ahead.
No, so make sure you check out that film festival. And October means Oktoberfest. And there are a lot of pubs in Chicago, and there are a lot of neighborhoods that will definitely be throwing their own Oktoberfest festivities. But the one that we're highlighting this week is the Northman Beer and Cider Garden, and that is going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to go, if you want to get some bratwurst, if you want to go and just hang out with other people who want to have a good time and drink and party, you can do day drinking. Go to these Oktoberfest activities.
All right, that's what's up,
Yeah.
man. You gotta love Chicago. It's not just summertime shy. You did. All right,
So, so
so
summertime.
on the other side of this break, big bro, gonna talk about sports. Man,
Yes, you
now we
are.
if you had the Chicago Bears having the opportunity going to go 3-1 this upcoming Sunday, I say you got to go play the lottery because most people didn't think they would have many wins this season. And even though they've won ugly, they still win in football games, and you got to understand that. So on the other side of this break, we're gonna talk about that. And BK is bringing back BK's business
Business
beat.
beat.
Can't wait to
Yes.
see that. All right, see you guys on the other side of the break.
Bro, and you're checking out Chopping It Up Chicago.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me get this off of here. Welcome back to Chopping It Up Chicago. BK, I'm
Hey,
so happy to be back here with you. It's crazy.
it
It's been a crazy
is.
couple years.
I'm very happy for this platform. So thank you, Chopping It Up family, for sticking through it with us. As we all know, it's been a journey. But big bro, like I know that you are super excited to talk about sports, especially the Bears, because my neighbors were like screaming on Sunday. They're just like, let's go. I'm like, okay, what is happening downstairs? So like
Well,
tell
that's how
us.
football work. Like I watch the Bears with like cautious optimism, right? Like I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna keep myself here. Like I've been alive
Right.
40 years now. I don't let them get me too high or too low. But despite an ugly game from Justin Fields, the Chicago Bears rushed for nearly 300 yards against against their former Bears head coach Lovie Smith and the Houston Texans came away with a 23-20 win. Now, if they're going to get a win Sunday against the Giants, they're going to have to play better on offense, even though 300 yards sounds like a lot. It is a lot for running. Your quarterback
Yeah.
got to throw for more than 82 yards. Like they got to. If teams know that you're going to run the ball, they're going to stack the box and they're going to destroy you. So you got to be able to have a balanced offense. Now, the Chicago White Sox had a chance to make the playoffs this last week or so, but they laid an egg. They didn't do it. They're on like a 7 game losing streak, and that's basically been the season for the White Sox. It's been up and down, and they really honestly didn't deserve to make the playoffs. So shout out to the Cleveland Guardians now. They used to be the Indians, but I think they're the Guardians now.
Yeah, they
Shout
needed
out
to
to them.
change their name because it was
Yeah,
racist.
yeah, and there's a few more left, but we'll see. But shout
Yeah.
out to them for winning the Central Division. Hopefully, they can go on to win the World Series and the NBC. I'm sorry, the NBA season, not the NBC. The NBA season is
Mhm.
drawing near. It's on the horizon. LeBron James is going into his 20th season. He's on the cusp of overtaking the number one scoring person
Mm.
in the NBA with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Jabbar,
and
yeah.
he's going to probably do it. Shout out to LeBron James for putting in all that hard work, staying healthy. You know, he's trying to play long enough to play with his kids. Uh,
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Bulls, it looks like the starting point guard Lonzo Ball is possibly going to miss the entire season. Hopefully not, but his lingering knee injuries since
What is
January of
up
this.
with our Chicago people and their lingering injuries? Like, I'm not okay with that, Derrick Rose. Like, you left that behind.
Listen, we don't do the Derrick Rose slander around these parts, like
I
Derrick
said
Rose.
what I said.
No, we can't do that. Derrick
I
Rose from
said what
Inglewood,
I
he
said.
survived a lot. He put
He
Chicago
did.
on, youngest MVP ever.
Good for
The body
him, but
does
he
what the body
also was
does.
he was
So,
doing too much.
no Derrick Rose slander. But
I
anyhow,
said what I said.
Lonzo Ball, we can slander him all we want. Uh, at the end of the day, his injury was from January of last year, of this year, and it looks like it could be longer. He just had another surgery,
Mm,
and unfortunately, that puts the Bulls in a situation where they got to rely on younger players, less
yeah,
established players to carry them to a strong start. Hopefully, they can overcome those adversities. I feel like it's up to Zach Levine, who just signed a max contract, and DeMar DeRozan, who's kind of getting long in the tooth, and Nikola Vucevic, who's planning on staying with the Bulls, and hopefully he can secure a long-term contract with the Bulls as well, or re-signing with the Bulls. But either way, Lonzo Ball, get healthy. We need you. They played really well with him when he was there, and yeah, so that's what's going on. Just a little shot of Lonzo Ball. There you go, man. He could miss the entire season. Hopefully not. We're just hoping that he gets back.
yeah.
So, all right. So that's sports with your boy Big Bro. BK, what you got for us with your business beat?
Well, we have what I wanted to talk to you guys today about mainly is networking. And so, a lot of people, when it comes to business, unless you honestly are running certain circles, most people don't really understand how important networking is and why you should do it. And so, a little background on me is I used to be a teacher and I taught overseas. Then I came back to America and I was like, I don't want to teach anymore. And I decided that I was going to go head into marketing. I did marketing overseas as well, but I really got trained for it in America, came back, and I ended up working at a job as an admin and assistant, basically a secretary. And in a 3 year time period, I worked my way from being admin to being head of marketing. And so it became a lot about like tenacity and basically just saying, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this, right? In my time of working at that job, I purposely made friends with people who were higher ups and I made friends with their friends. I made sure that they knew who I was. And I'm saying all of this not just to toot my own horn, toot toot, but also to let you know that the friend that you make or a connection that you make today, you might not get an immediate return on that result, but maybe you find something else in like 2 or 3 years, they'll remember you. And I say that because that's exactly what happened to me this week. So I was able to help put on a fundraising event for 2 years in a row for a mayor. And then I left that company, started my own. But that mayor reached out to me this week to help me put on this fundraising event for them this time as well. And from his connection, I've also been able to make other connections for speaking engagements and things like that. So I really advise anybody who has a business to do weekly, bi-weekly, or at least monthly. You need to go to networking events around the city and you need to get your name out there because your business is important and it can survive no matter if it's COVID, no matter if the Bears are winning or losing, no matter what's going on in the world. It's really important to network with people around you so that your business can survive and thrive and that people know who you are. And this is how people can become nationally known as well as globally known. So, well, some of the things, some events that are happening this week would be there is a networking after work at Como. We will put this up on our social media pages. And that's happening September 29th, and that is going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. There's another one that's happening September 28th, tomorrow, and it's called Young Professionals Group Networking Event. And that is going to be in Glenview, Illinois. And then there are lots and lots of them all over the city. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay at most $20 for, and that's just so that you can get like appetizers that they're providing for you. That covers the cost. But I have gone to many networking events, and when I go, I've always made a good connection. I've always I end up like getting invited to another event for free or something like that. And if you are an entrepreneur, it's extremely important to get your name out there and to keep yourself like fresh in someone's mind and heart. So not only should you go, but after you go to a networking event, make sure that like you have people's contact information and make sure that you follow up with them that next day and let them know, hey, we talked about this. I was in this outfit. Just let me know if you or someone you know is ever in need of a speaker or a writer or a chef or something like that. I would love to give my services. So, network people, network. It's super important.
Amen. All right. Feels good to be back. I
It
keep
does.
saying
It
this.
feels great.
Thank you guys for rocking with us on Chopping It Up Chicago. Shout out to Rich Law, who was here with us a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to Sean Flynn, who's running for 8th Ward Alderman in Chicago. If you don't know
Mm.
who your alderman is, or if you want to learn more about how the alderman situation works in Chicago, be sure to go to our YouTube page and check out the last episode that we did. All right. So you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to our YouTube page, Chopping It Up Chicago. Email us at choppingitupchicago@gmail.com. Follow me on TikTok. That's Big Bro of Chopping It Up Chicago. Miss BK has a vlog that's doing its thing. Go ahead and tell them about that.
Yes, so I have a YouTube channel called Butterscotch Kisses, as that is what my name is. And it is all about me going around Chicago and showing how beautiful Chicago is. So, Chicago restaurants, as well as things to do in Chicago. And it is in vlog form. And when I travel, as I will be traveling soon, I will be creating some more content so that when you guys go out of town, you can see like cities and you can say, okay, BK showed me that looked fun. We're going to go there.
Amen. Amen. So thank you guys for chopping it up with us on Chopping It Up Chicago. I'm your boy, Big Bro, signing off.
I'm your girl, BK. Let us
And we will
scotch
see.
kisses. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
All right.